Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 79. Not as good of a ring as 69, but you know. I am Kelvin.
And I am Robert.
This is Go Watch a Movie, and welcome to the conversation, people, which we all love so much, talking about movies. Today, we are covering the DC Shazam! I am ready for this because it's a very different take of what DC normally puts out. Has been putting out here in the last few years. So it'll be fun to talk about that one. But yes, now, before we get into Shazam, a little bit of entertainment news. Were you a fan of the Monsters, Inc. movies, or have you ever even watched them at all?
Can't say I've seen them, so I don't know if I'm a fan or not.
They're pretty fun, but they are one of the shows that'll be going to, one of the many shows that'll be going to Disney Plus. And both actors, John Goodman and Billy Crystal, have signed on to return for those voices, which is a pretty big deal, you know, going back for a series, especially an animated one. But I guess Disney Plus has all the money in the world to throw at people. So,
right.
I just thought that was a fun little thing because I've laughed out loud at those movies. Phase 4, Marvel Phase 4. It has a 5-year plan already that may not include the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
I was really hoping if, you know, at the end of Dark Phoenix, get kind of a tie-in. But cause especially with how rough that movie's been going as far as the creation process. But
yeah, it makes sense to me. I don't know why they can't just merge stuff, but I guess there's still a lot of legal crap tied up, or they just don't want to. They
said they had already been working on Phase 4 because they didn't want to rely and wait on the Fox finish. So they started their Phase 4 plans before that and filming of some stuff. And, you know, all right. So I guess, you know, I kind of understand. You don't want to wait around and be like shuffling your pants while you wait for the big rats to handle their business. But yeah. Another, actually, Disney Plus. This is all Disney stuff. Sorry for that, but they own everything right now.
Right, so might as well be.
But another Disney Plus show that has been announced, Hawkeye, starring Jeremy Renner. So I don't know, man. You got Loki, you got Scarlet Witch, now Hawkeye getting their own spin-off shows on Disney Plus. Are you convinced yet? Are you giving Disney your wallet for Disney Plus?
No, and no. Not that I don't I don't like any of those characters or whatever, but
streaming service.
I don't know. It's just not my thing right now. Maybe if it turns out to be good and I catch a bit of it, and maybe I'll fall in love with it. But right now, just the idea of it doesn't really, grab me.
Gotcha. Sadly, I may fork over that cash because if not just for that Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, I really want to see what they do with that. And the rest will be, I guess, bonus. They also said they might be putting the New Mutants movie on there, which is supposed to be a horror.
Yeah. So I actually was kind of interested in seeing that one because it looks so different from the other one. So I wanted to
they're gonna get you one way or another.
Yeah, but I don't want to jump on board this. If you like one thing, you gotta subscribe to that one service. So then you have to, if you like both, you gotta subscribe to both. I mean, I just don't want to. I want it to all be on one open platform where you can just get anything you want.
By everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Because right now I have both Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime comes with my Prime membership, so I kind of don't count that one. But It's like you got to have that. You got to have that. Then HBO now has their own.
Right.
And, Apple Plus is getting theirs with their own new shows. And I know I sound like an old man, but
like you won't be able to afford cable. You just have to have all these different streaming services.
And that's the plan. Like, because even like CBS and ABC, which is also Disney, they're getting their own little streaming apps as well for their shows. So it's like one day cable is going to be not a thing and everything's going to be app based, which Apple TV already is. So like,
I wonder, are they still going to have commercials on these streaming services? I think
that's
an old person commercial or an old person question right there.
Yeah, because they're
going to have.
So Hulu right now, I think everybody's going to adapt their market. They have like $5.99 gets you Hulu, but that $5.99 version has commercials. For what $9? I'm just throwing these numbers out here. $9.99, no commercials. So yeah. So if you want the luxury of not having commercials, you're going to pay more. Whereas Netflix doesn't do that. I guess Netflix just you get what you get. But that's the Hulu formula, which oddly enough, Disney has the majority stake in. So.
Yeah, if there's going to be commercials, they definitely shouldn't be charging a subscription because that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some, I don't know. Now they're trying to dip their fingers or hands into 2 cookie jars instead of just one.
Oh, they're going to get all that money they can.
Yeah, so now I'm just feeling taken advantage of. I just feel dirty now. Take a shower. What you been doing? Watching Netflix? Now I gotta take a shower.
Shazam! Oh, sorry. I was just trying it. I'm hoping
bless you.
Say it. Thank you. Hoping that one of these times I say it, I actually transform.
Mm-hmm. I think you gotta grab a staff.
Oh.
And he broke that. So that's spoilers.
That'll bring us to the staff grabbing. That'll bring us to trailers. You want to go first or me, sir?
Up to you.
I'll go first. Most people have jumped off this man's train and it's heading into a cliff at full speed. It's sad to say I am still on board of that train. Johnny Depp. I haven't lost faith yet. And I saw a trailer today for a new movie he has coming out called The Professor. This one kind of hit me because I've been kind of working on a script that includes something like this. But a professor has been diagnosed with cancer and it just completely changes his life. He kind of shuts down and like the first thing he does is storms out of the doctor's office and walks right into a pond and just sits down in the pond. But yeah, he just kind of goes off the deep end and just basically starts living his life how he wants to because he knows he's going to die with the cancer. It seems like one of those feel good movies to where that's at some point he may get good news, and flip on him. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. But it's Johnny Depp, and I still enjoy his acting, even though some people say it's not good, and of course there are the other people who are mad at him for various reasons. But yeah, I say check that trailer out.
All right, well, I got a couple for you. I got the first one, keeping with the theme, the superhero theme that we got going on today. Is Valentine the Dark Avenger? Oh. Now, let me go ahead and say this does not look like a polished current what we're expecting out of a superhero movie. It looks a little low budget. a little rough. But in saying that, I know a lot of people probably think it looks like crap. But in saying that, I think it's kind of a good idea. It's basically about these people are wanting to make a movie or a TV show or something about a superhero. So they come up with the idea. They find this lady who actually knows kung fu or something. So they're like, can you be our hero? Whatever. We'll get you a costume. We'll tape some segments of you running around the city fighting crime or something, and then that'll help us actually get this movie rolling or whatever it is they're trying to make. And I guess a real villain pops up, and then they actually have to use this person, who decides, to actually fight crime, So it's kind of a weird idea, but I kind of want to be in this movie's corner, even though it's like it's not like the Avengers movies that are all polished and perfect and everything's great.
Yeah,
it does look rough and it is low budget, but I think it's a good idea. And I kind of remember movies like Super or
Shut Up, Crime.
just offbeat superhero movies like that.
Yeah,
and so it makes me want to be in this movie's corner. So I hope it does. I hope it's better than the trailer makes it look, but it doesn't look bad. I think it's worth a shot. Okay. So I wanted to throw that one in there. I want to give a shot to like a lower budget movie. It doesn't always have to be the big budget movies and whatnot that we go to watch. So I wanted to give a shout out to that one. And then my second one is I'm confused about. It's like, it seems almost like a good idea, but it doesn't.
Tell me where the trailer touched you.
It touched me all over the place. Touched me in my nightmares. The movie is called Nightmare Shark.
Oh! Just tell me why is this?
So basically, these people are all having these nightmares, and there's like a shark in it, and it's hard. It sounds stupid. They're seeking help for this, but there's some cool looking scenes. Like there's like a lady floating. The shark. I will admit that the special effects look horrible, but there's other elements in the movie that look good. So this might just be one of those bad movies that turns into a good movie because it's so bad. That's what I'm getting from it. But it's kind of a crazy idea, and I don't know. I like Zombiever, so why not Nightmare Shark?
Oh, Zombiever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if those aren't the most, exciting trailers, but they're...
I can't say that I've seen them, so I'll check those out. So that's exciting. I get to see 2 new trailers. Okay. Shazam! No? Still nothing. Okay. So yeah, wait, what was the second one called? Nightmare Shark?
Yes, Nightmare Shark.
Okay. I'm writing these down because I want to go back and watch them.
You can yell at me later.
That will bring us to DC's / Warner Brothers Shazam. This one is starring Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Daniel Grazer, Mark Strong, Digimon. I can't ever pronounce his name. I just called him a Digimon, I do believe. Grace Fulton.
Monsters are the champion.
What's that?
I said Digital Monsters are the champion.
Yes, Shazam is the champion.
Yes, he is.
Cooper Andrews. Yes. But let's see here. Synopsis. Wow, this starts stupid. We all have a superhero inside of us. It just takes a bit of magic to bring it out. And 14-year-old Billy Batson's case, all he needs to do is shout out one word to transform into the adult superhero Captain Shazam. Still a kid at heart, Shazam reveals in the new version of himself doing blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you got the gist of it. Shazam.
Yes.
I've heard certain things about this. I've heard some people say that's a kids movie. They cater too heavily to kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it doesn't fit DC's universe, but that's always kind of been the point of Captain Marvel, Shazam. Damn it. Why do I keep doing that? Little brief history on that. Don't know if everyone knows, but Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel, which made a little bit more sense because he could actually say who he was to people instead of making up several names that don't really make sense.
Did he have to yell Captain Marvel when he touched the staff, or did he just do it?
No, he yelled Shazam. That was his word to turn.
Oh.
Yeah, and Captain, so the funny thing is there was a fight between Marvel and DC over the name Captain Marvel. Marvel, of course, won, but what makes it funny is neither one of them came up with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was made by Fawcett Comics back in 1933, I want to say.
Yep, and they give a shout out to that to them in the movie.
Yeah, which I liked. But yeah, he was Captain Marvel up until 2012, I believe, when he officially became Shazam. So they never really give him a name fully in this movie. Like
just Shazam, that's his name.
But he can't introduce himself as that. So I'm saying
he's the hero. That's why they did call him the Red Cyclone or something.
They called him the Red Cyclone. They call him the Thunder Kraken. They kept changing his comic name, but what people called him, I don't know. I just think it's silly. But I guess it would hurt for having two Captain Marvels, do battle. But sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
So I gotta tell you, I loved what they did with Dr. Sivana in this movie. Mark Strong did a perfect job of it, but the way they created him, I thought was perfect because I put myself in his shoes at that instance. Yeah, I'm a kid. All my dreams are about to come true. And because I showed a little bit of temptation, boom, I'm out of here. You're gone, buddy. Mm-hmm. Get the Stefan. And I'm not going to forget that. That's going to haunt me the rest of my freaking life and maybe do what it did to the guy in this. But that's not his original story either. I thought his story is pretty crazy and cool. But I won't go into that because we're talking about the movie. But yeah, don't you agree? That would mess a kid up. That
would definitely mess a kid up.
Maybe I don't know if kid.
I don't know if that necessarily created him as a villain though, because I think if he was already that person, he still would have probably done something bad, just maybe not in that direction.
Oh no!
You don't think so?
No, that little kid.
Okay, let me talk about the beginning of this movie. Because let me first be completely honest. I'm not familiar with Shazam, Captain Marvel, whatever his name is. I've never read any of his comic books. I mean, I've seen him before. I just thought he was like a Superman copy with a different origin story, basically. And so I went into this movie with super negative view, just like this is going to be some kiddie crap. I'm not going to enjoy this. And I sat down and I started watching the movie, and I still thought that. I started thinking, at the very beginning, the kid's driving down the street, and then he disappears into the little underground layer, whatever it is, and the guy comes out and says, I'm looking for somebody to be my champion. And I'm thinking, he's not going to be the kid. He's going to be the villain, isn't he? I figured it out already. And then when he pops back into the car, I'm like, oh crap, I bet you they're going to have an accident. Mm-hmm. And then they have an accident, and I'm like, oh crap, they're just sitting there in the middle of the road. Clearly they're going to get hit and someone's going to die. So there's so many things. All of it was just completely predictable, and just I was just sitting there thinking, aha, I was right. This is crap. All of this is crap. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. But then the movie progressed. Mm-hmm. And I'm mad at them because they made me like the thing.
Oh!
By the end of the movie, I was cheering. I was excited. I don't want to give away the end. You already know there's spoilers, but I mean, holy crap! I was like, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be. They found that last little bit of warmth in my heart and then flamed it. And it made me like the thing. And I was just like, oh, no.
The Grinch's heart 20 times as normal size.
Yes, they made my heart a little bit bigger. And I was just like, well, holy crap, I like it. And I just gave it away that I liked it. But still, it's just like I went in with such a negative view. Maybe that's why it seems
he can beat Superman.
can he now?
Yeah, Superman has.
He couldn't leap that building though.
No,
he has to struggle with that.
So Superman has not only the weakness of kryptonite, but a weakness of magic. Yeah. So there's I forget, damn, I wish I would have researched it, but there's one of the animated movies. They do battle when they first meet, like heroes do, you know, some villain pissed them against each other until they realize, my mom's name's Martha, mine too. But but he like has Superman in a headlock and just is like basically just about to kill him. Like, it's
so is that how he got Superman to show up for lunch? Is that what?
You know what? That ticked me off. That we'll get to that but remind me to get back to that.
Right on.
But but Superman does have a weakness of magic, and I do love that this movie is introducing magic into the world of DC, because they need, God damn it, they need something. So this villain, though, I want to stick on him because he doesn't have those powers normally. And I found it kind of odd. I wanted to go back and watch it right afterwards. For one, because it's a fun movie, but for two, just to see exactly how he became what he became in that movie. Because he basically got the champion's powers just by having the 7 deadly sins in him, which didn't really make any sense because he still wanted to be the champion. And they, when they were released, were supposed to become these destroyers of worlds. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
They weren't that powerful. I mean, they were pretty menacing demons or whatnot. I wouldn't want to mess with one of them, but I mean, they weren't like the world destroyers, I guess. But
they were supposed to be in that little when Billy came down finally to Shazam. He showed that little light show, and he's like, who I'm assuming was Black Adam, released all the demons, and he's like, they destroyed countless civilizations and that sort of thing while they were released. So they were supposed to be these big baddies, but all they did was hide inside of him.
Well, maybe they, I don't know how, well, I mean, I could see how they could, like, over time, you know, manipulate and ruin a society or whatnot, but just as themselves, maybe not, you know, just go up and beat up everybody. That's not really how they work. They're more like influencers, or, you know, things that whisper in other people's ears.
I'm just going by their logic. Like, I was curious about that too. Like how they like created this logic and then it just kind of went away. Like I didn't really understand. And then I don't know why they would give him the power of the champion, being enemies of the champion. I don't know if I missed something there.
Those are good questions. I'm not sure what the answers are.
That's why I have a love-hate relationship of it. I had a blast watching this movie, but I was like torn because there were so many things that I was like, why are you doing that? Wait, that makes what are you doing here?
Yeah, the best part of the villain for me was the fact that he wasn't chosen, but even though he wasn't chosen, he was so determined.
He still became special.
So determined that he was still able to accomplish like some pretty amazing feats, not positive feats, but he was able to do all this stuff despite the fact not being chosen. And I think everybody can relate to that. So it makes him a relatable villain. But then I think after that, he kind of loses me because he just basically wants what he's already got.
Yeah.
But right? I mean, when you have power, you just want more power. So I understand it from that perspective. But outside of that, I just found him, and he didn't really do, besides going after his dad and brother and what
which was a very cool scene.
Which was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, what did he really do super villain wise other than like attack some kids and try to steal some more power?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They told him to go and destroy the champion. Yet somehow it flipped to him becoming the champion. It's like, I don't know. But you're right too. He didn't really do it. Like if he would have took over his father's company and started, you know, whatever they were making, influencing that badly with the sins or something, that would have even been better. But Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. Like, as far as supervillain like stuff goes, you'd think a supervillain's really going to do something. He didn't really do anything.
In the comics, he is just a super genius. Mm-hmm. And he actually exiled himself to Venus because he got tired of Shazam finding him and putting him in prison. And he just like starts making stuff to send to Earth and try and take it over from there. But yeah, he's like one of the smartest people in the DC universe. And it's just it kind of makes me mad that they didn't play on that more, even though I guess he had to be somewhat of a genius to find that place again, you know. Mm-hmm. Set all that up.
There's one other thing that I found interesting about his whole journey to becoming a super villain was after he figured out what he needed to do to get back to that place to get that power, he does it, and then the lady touches the door and then like burns up and evaporates.
Yes.
And then he just grabs the door afterwards
and goes right in.
So I didn't understand that. Like, why did she like burst into flames, but then he didn't?
They were calling him, I think, what they were trying to get at there. Like the Seven Sins had chosen him when he went, and they were calling him that whole time. I think.
Yeah, because they were chained up, though. Did they have the power to manipulate that so that the door would?
You wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I know the wizard was getting weak or whatever, but still.
And like so. When he gets in there, right after that scene you're talking about, like the wizard just lets him walk right up. No, and grabs the thing, and then shoots lightning at him after he grabs it.
Yeah, there's some interesting moments that I probably would have changed if I had made it, but I mean, overall, still was good. But just some weird moments, like I didn't get stuff. Shazam! No, yeah. Told you there's got to be a staff and another dude, which is another thing that sounded wrong. But there's another thing that confused me. It's like the villain wanted the power, right? So shouldn't Shazam, who currently had the power, hold the staff and then have the villain say Shazam instead of because the villain was telling him to say it.
Yes.
They were doing it in reverse. I don't like why were they doing it in reverse? He should have
said Shazam. Yeah.
Yeah, so the villain should have been the one saying Shazam, and then the power would transfer to him.
Exactly.
As opposed to, I don't even understand why they had reversed it then, and it never really got explained. I guess it was just I was like, I don't know what's happened, but it's a comic book movie, so I didn't try to question it too much at the time. But thinking about it, I'm like, why did they reverse it? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Some of these are the thoughts that came through my head when I walked out. I was like, wait. I had a lot of fun, but some of that just didn't work. But let's get on to Billy Batson. Mm-hmm. Love the introduction of Billy Batson. I thought he was the little rebel badass kid who's out on his own trying to find his mother.
Definitely a fun trick he played on the cops.
Yes. But
don't suggest anybody try that in real life.
Don't do this at home.
You'll get in trouble.
Yeah, not just sent to another foster home. You get sent to a boys' home, juvenile home. But yeah, but I do like it's a welcome change from my parents are dead.
But it was so much sadder at the end when he finally finds her.
It was, but
I was like, seriously. Wait, and then it was predictable because you knew the whole family thing was going to blow up, like the whole foster family thing, which is great. I'm not knocking foster family thing at all, but
whoa, buddy,
I'm not knocking that at all. But I mean, just the real mom acting the way she did, and I'm just like, seriously. I mean, I guess DC is pretty dark because they decided to tackle that, but
yeah.
They kind of
but it was surrounded by all this light whimsy, I think is how they were probably seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was super sad. I was like, what?
But yeah, so his mom, at the tender age of like 3 or something like that, 3 or 4, he's at a carnival with his mom. He drops a toy and they get separated and she never comes back for him. And he gets thrown into the foster care. which is just horrible. Which I don't know why, as smart of a kid as I guess you wouldn't give up hope if you were in that situation. I was going to say, as smart of a kid as he is, you wouldn't think that he wouldn't put together, like, she would have came back for me if she really wanted me, you know?
Yeah. But do you think the wizard that turned him into Shazam just got lucky? Because there's no way. So I mean, he was at his last leg. He didn't have anybody else to
That's
pick.
the thing. I don't think Billy was pure of heart. I just think, like you said, I think he got lucky. I think Billy, if that thing he was going to take the next person that popped down there and give them the power. I think.
I think he got. My rational mind says he just got lucky, but then I think about how he realizes the whole foster family thing and starts to connect with people. And I think maybe somehow the wizard knew he was more than just himself. He was part of a bigger group. Yeah.
Because Billy didn't even get tested though. Like I don't know, man. I'm just
saying.
Like, I could have popped down there and he's like, here you go. Like, you done fucked up, old man.
Because I'm just thinking, he's got this power. He finds his mom. He gets this load of bricks just dropped on him. He didn't go crazy and then run out and start, destroying buildings like I probably would have. He went out and just helped somebody and reconnected with people who actually cared about him. So I'm just like, what in the world? I think the wizard got lucky. I'm just going to say it. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm 100% agreeing with you. I think Billy was just a Joe Smo that lucked into, in this instance of the story, lucked into being Shazam. Yeah. And it just happened to fit. But,
because not only did he, but I don't want to give away the ending, but so many other people were also brought into this world who, were all of them worthy too? Or is it because they're a family group, which is what makes them worthy?
See,
and they have each other to lean on, and you know what I mean?
I still think that pure heart thing just went out the window when the Seven Sins got released. He's like, right. I just need somebody to take care of this.
Why didn't he fly out? Why didn't he fly out there and do it?
Apparently, he getting thrown into that wall just did it for him. He couldn't take it anymore.
Because I feel like he had the power. He was the dude until he gave it to somebody else. So he should have been able to go out there and take care of business. Maybe he was just tired of doing it. He was
taking care of
business. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's go. I don't know. Yeah, let's go. I'm still confused.
No, go on.
This whole movie. It's so much fun to watch, but it's like when you start to put logic to it, you get confused about the storyline and everything else. But that's okay.
So let's go through what Shazam stands for.
Okay.
S, the wisdom of Solomon. H, strength of Hercules. A, stamina of Atlas. Z, power of Zeus. A, the courage of Achilles. M, the speed of Mercury. So he got all of that except S. There was no wisdom of Solomon. And I've seen some arguments online. Well, wisdom doesn't mean he's going to be mature. And I get that. Wisdom does not mean mature.
He did show a little bit of wisdom at the end.
Yes.
When he figured out what he needed to do, and it wasn't all about him. And I think there was a little tinge of wisdom.
Yes, towards the end.
towards the end, but definitely not in the beginning.
And I guess some people have said that it's just the wisdom is supposed to guide him towards hints, because he did also piece together. It wasn't just Freddy who pieces together. He saw when all those things were out of him that he bled. You saw his eyes shift and move. So he's not a complete idiot.
Yeah, but he wasn't the only one to notice that though.
Yeah, Freddie.
Because other people, so it wasn't just. I think anybody would have noticed that.
You saying you didn't need the wisdom of Solomon for that?
No, not really. But I will say that wisdom isn't something you're just not born with. So wisdom is something you learn
over time. Yeah.
So he had to make mistakes and whatnot to acquire the knowledge to be able to make a wise decision. So that's,
but it's supposed to be one of his powers. And Freddie even points out, sadly, and I don't know why they did that. Freddie even says, okay, so super intelligence is not one of your things. Mm-hmm. But it kind of technically is.
Maybe he didn't the wizard didn't choose as wisely as he thought.
So, speaking of Freddie, did you not just want to punch that fucking kid?
with the one with the crutch? Yes. No, I didn't want to punch him.
I love that kid. I've seen him in interviews. He's great. He's funny. And he clearly made that character, I guess, kind of annoying, like how it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But my God, if I was Shazam, I would have, within a minute or two, taken that crutch and just wrapped it around him and hurled him through the wall. Because goddamn, if he wasn't annoying, and not just annoying, just a complete mess when it came. Like, he's supposed to be the superhero expert, and he didn't know what the hell was going on. He, like Billy points out, broke his own rules and basically was fueled with jealousy. And I
think that's normal. I think anybody in his position would be fueled with jealousy. Yes, you got a dude who just came into your house who's a new foster kid, and then all of a sudden he's a superhero. An example of that.
The kid in the chair, Spider-Man Homecoming. He wasn't jealous. He was happy for Peter. He just wanted to be the kid in the chair.
Yeah, but he wanted to tell everybody.
But still, he wasn't jealous. Freddie's like the whole secret identity because of family thing. He's standing in the hallway shouting on several different occasions. Everyone just stops and turns and look like, what the fuck is this kid talking about? Because he's yelling.
Yeah, this is the only problem that I have with Freddie, and it's not really about Freddie. It's more about the circumstances that happens around Freddie. Freddie tells all these kids at high school that he knows Shazam or the Red Cyclone or whatever they're calling him. Yeah. And they're like, no, you don't, because he didn't show up for lunch with you, blah, blah, blah. And then on the news, he's standing next to Shazam talking or arguing with him on the news. And then the next time he goes to school, he sits down with something. They're like, nope, you don't know him. But he's standing there on the news talking to him.
Yeah. See why I have a love-hate relationship with this movie? You see?
There's some stuff that just doesn't make sense, but it's still fun.
Oh my God, he messed up so many times. I don't know, man. And I get it. I get it.
I just didn't like when he told him to shoot. He told the robbers to shoot him in the face. I'm just thinking, wait, what? Why are you going to test that?
and Billy's just like, yep, go ahead, shoot me in the face. That was a fun scene too. There were so many fun scenes in this movie. I think that's why I forgave so much at the time. But well,
they've done it. They've got 3 in a row now. Aquaman did really well.
You know what's funny? Wonder Woman did really well. Though? This movie did $53 million its opening weekend. A original horror film that was the second film by a director, producer, writer did better than this movie a week before. Which is, you see what I'm saying here? For a known comic book film to do less than that, that's kind of daunting for DC.
I feel like Shazam isn't that known though. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I felt like Shazam was basically like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's not a character that people before the movies came out were really all that concerned with.
Yeah, maybe I'm too. I don't know.
I mean, you know what I mean? Just like same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians did 100 plus.
Yeah.
Like, and they were the under turds of Marvel.
I think it's going to pick up though, because people are going to get the buzz.
It's already made.
It's better than it looked. 'Cause I did have that same negative thought. It's a kiddie movie, and it is kind of kiddie in moments. That's another. If I had any complaint, like any real complaint about what I didn't like about the movie, was that you had to deal with an adult pretending to be a kid.
But he did it so well.
But if you watch Billy's character, he didn't act like Shazam did. I felt like he acted older than what he was as a kid, but then when he was Shazam, he acted younger than what he was. Yeah,
he acted like Freddy when he was a kid. I mean, when he was Shazam. Like, he was way more mature as Billy Batson.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the only thing that I like kind of didn't like, because I was just like, wait a second, they're not acting like he should be acting.
Yeah.
In this, but again, it's still fun. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Jeez. Let's go to the Foster family when they. I love the little sister, the little girl. I can't think of her name right now, but she did amazing.
She was definitely fun, but and to completely jump on the other boat, like I liked when the adult version of her was being Kitty, because it actually fit.
Yeah, it fit her.
It fit her, but it didn't fit him for whatever reason. I don't know. I did like all the foster kids. I think they gave them all a very different personality. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that there were so many of them, you kind of knew all of them.
Yes,
because I guess I don't want to say they were stereotypes, but whatnot. But slowly things were revealed around. What's that?
They kind of were. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But they all kind of were stereotypes, sadly.
But they were still. I mean, still there was enough development with them to actually care about the family. Yeah. So even the parents, even the foster parents.
I found myself wishing that those were my parents.
I'm happy with the ones I got, but yeah, they were pretty cool.
And yet another Walking Dead star in one of these big movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next thing that kind of burned my bridges. The family, and we're going into major spoiler territory. We've been kind of spoiling minutely here, but the family, the Shazam family, being introduced in this movie. I don't think that should have happened in this movie. I think he should have had his time to shine before he needs help. And I get the entire movie is focused around, hey, you need family. Your family is more than just blood, all that stuff. But Shazam could not beat the villain on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like upsets me for a first movie. Like, I don't know.
I feel like he did beat him, because he got a tinge of wisdom, realized he couldn't do it on his own, otherwise he would have failed, and that says a lot about a person if they can admit that they can't do it themselves.
I gotta give you that one.
And brought in the help, and he did outsmart him, and he did outsmart him at the end.
Yeah.
He did outsmart him to get that. Well, I guess he outsmarted the Sin.
Yeah.
He got the Sin to jump out.
The Envy?
Not the guy.
Yeah. Greed? Envy.
Oh, it was Envy, because he was like, yeah. So in that, I think he did kind of. He did exactly what he needed.
I just think they would have I don't know. I feel like it was they just pulled a Justice League. Like, they shot their load too soon. Like, people would have came back for part 2. Well, they're gonna come back anyway because this was such a fun movie. But came back even more part 2 because the Shazam family is a real thing, And if they would have came back more for like, oh, there's a chance that we're gonna get the rest of the family in there in the part 2, but. They're like, let's quickly get this team together, so we can continue. I
thought it was a great surprise at the end of the movie, because I did not see that coming whatsoever. Like, I wasn't even familiar. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with the comic book, so just to see that happen was like, that was a big moment.
Freddy's character is actually Captain Marvel Jr., and I don't know what they're going to call him in the next movie, but and then the older sister Mary is Miss Marvel. Once again, I don't know what they're going to call her in the movie, but yeah, so I thought that was very cool. That they were, I was happy seeing them. I really was. I just was like, man, this is just. Did this happen?
Did you like when one of them said Hadouken? Hadouken.
Yeah, the gamer one. It made so much sense because all he does is play games all the time. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny. That's nice little touches in there that make
make you happy. Forget everything we're bitching about.
Exactly, they needed to.
And then I'm gonna get to my last gripe here. If you're not gonna show the man's face, because clearly you cast someone else because you didn't want to pay him the money, don't put him in the fucking movie. That pissed me off so much because everyone knows there's legal back and forth going on about money with him. Like, that's an insult to Henry. I don't know.
I was happy. You're right. I was happy to see him show up, but I thought it was weird that they didn't show his face.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about, and I knew deep down why. I mean, there was some legal crap, money crap, but I was still like, that would be cool if they zoomed up and showed his face. You know,
that would have been so awesome.
That was a missed opportunity. You're right.
With that said, though, I do love how they incorporated the fact that all that other stuff does exist, because so many other comic book movies are bad about doing that. Like they just forget that, we had an Avengers, or we had, a Justice League, where this one made sure you knew you're still in that world. I did enjoy that. Because like even the Bullet and the toys and the comic, like all of that was.
Yeah, that scene when they ran to the toy store and everything was DC. That was pretty. And I even recognized some of the stuff. I'm like, that's that multiverse figure that he's hanging there on the shelf. Why are they doing that? But I understand why. But it's fine. I just thought that was funny. I'm like, there's no store like that with a bunch of DC stuff every freaking where.
Actually, DC's more pushed to the corner. Yeah, I don't know. Shazam, go watch or no for you, sir?
Yeah, definitely go watch. It's fun. You can't get. I mean, it's mindless fun.
Yes,
it'll make you smile.
Well, it can be mindless fun.
So there's good in it. So yes, definitely go watch from me. Shazam.
Did it work for you?
Nope, nothing. I'm still me.
Yeah, definitely go watch.
I'm already the perfect version of myself.
Oh, look at this guy. But definitely go watch for me as well. Zachary Levi is fantastic. The guy is funny. I've been listening to him in interviews and stuff. He fits perfectly for it. And the fact that he bulked up how much he did for this role, because that used to be freaking Chuck from that show Chuck back in the day. So he's doing it. And congrats to him and everyone in this movie. Oh, we forgot Mr. Mind. The telepathic caterpillar that's going to be clearly the next villain in the next movie. Did you sit and watch that after credits?
No, I missed that.
Yeah. So Mr. Mind is a telepathic caterpillar that Mark Strong, the Dr. Savannah, is in there in his prison cell writing the symbols all over the wall. I'm assuming trying to reopen a door.